But let's go into a few principles. One, which I've kind of already mentioned, is that relationships are really 80% your mindset and your emotions. The beliefs that you have, the emotions that you experience, that's really going to dictate the quality of relationship you have. You know, if you've got negative beliefs, if you're struggling, with certain negative emotions, that's going to affect your relationship in a big way. And so understanding that puts more importance on really mastering your mind and emotions, what we talked about before. Really conquering those beliefs, really conquering whatever's holding you back and preventing you from giving more to your partner, to loving more, to being more present, to overcome, being more vulnerable if necessary. Whatever that is. A lot of people in a relationship and they're still playing a game, a power struggle. They're still holding back because they don't want to be too vulnerable because they're afraid if they go all in, then they're going to have something to lose. And those come from fears and beliefs that you got to conquer. You got to overcome those things. Okay, so understand that the emotions that you bring to the relationship are the most important thing. How you show up in a relationship is everything. Okay, so 80% is your mind and your emotions. A relationship is a place you go to give, not to get. You got to focus on meeting the other person's needs. In doing so, your needs will also be met simultaneously. So for me, I always try to stop focusing on myself. There's different levels of love. One level is you demand it. It's all about you. Second level is where you're trading. I'll do this for you if you do this for me. Third level is just unconditional love. I love you no matter what. I love you if you're mean. I love you if you're scared. If I'm scared, I'm gonna love you even if you don't deserve it. I'm just gonna give unconditional love because that's who I am. That's a higher level of consciousness in your life. If you can do that, just love no matter what, because there's gonna be times in a relationship your partner might behave in a certain way, but that's not who they are. It's just their behavior in that moment. You might see it as anger and frustration and them getting annoyed or irritated with you. You got to understand that's not who they are. That's just a reflection of the state that they might be in or whatever it is that they're going through, but you know their intent, and regardless, I'm going to love that person no matter what. And I'm going to keep loving, keep giving. My girlfriend and I, we have a relationship journal. Has our vision in it. We're always moving towards. We have certain questions we ask ourselves. We do this every month or every 2 weeks. We sit down, we ask ourselves, what do you love about your partner? What do you cherish about them? What do you appreciate about this person in your life? How can you give more to this person in your life? And we actually go through this process, and it creates a stronger bond and connection that creates a foundation for our relationship. And then we also go through, I forget the guy's name, but he's got a book called The 5 Love Languages. Gary Chapman. There's 5 love languages, which are words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and gifts. Okay? Words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and gifts. We all have one or two that are, our top love language. And you got to understand that with your partner. So, for me, if I need more words of affirmation, I might need to feel loved. Someone that says to me, I love you, or someone that compliments me or praises me in some way, that makes me feel loved. If the other person is quality time, then okay, I got to be more present. I got to spend not just time, but have it be quality time because that's what they need to be loved. Everybody has a different love language. So we do a check-in. We're like, okay, how am I meeting your love language? Is there anything that I can do to further make you feel loved? Right? So we have that communication. Communication's everything. You got to communicate back and forth because if you don't, and something bothers you, it turns into resentment. It just builds up, keeps building up. You don't communicate it, then it's going to unleash itself one day. So you got to communicate. You got to have that honesty. Tony Robbins has a great process called the 6 human needs. We all have 6 needs, one for certainty, uncertainty, significance, connection and love, growth and contribution. So we sit down, we say, okay, on a scale from 0 to 10, how certain do you feel in this relationship? How much security, how much certainty do you feel? Okay, if it's a low, then what can I do to create more certainty? How much variety, spontaneity, fun, adventure do you feel? Okay, what can I do to bring that to a 10? How significant do you feel in this relationship? How important or unique Okay, what can I do to bring that up? How much connection and love do you feel? How much do you feel that we're growing together? How much do you feel that I'm giving to you or we're contributing to each other? So we're always focused on meeting each other's needs. When you meet the person's needs at a high level, you'll have a love slave. You'll have somebody that they're so fulfilled by you meeting their needs, they'll never be able to leave you. Because the times when the person will leave you or there'll be issues are because you're not meeting their needs at a high level, not based on how you think their needs should be met, but how they really need their needs to be met. Okay? So that's why you got to focus on, okay, how can I make my partner feel more significant or feel more growth or whatever it is that they really need. Okay? So getting outside yourself, because what kills relationships is selfishness, being just focused on yourself. And you got to get outside yourself. You got to focus on meeting the needs of your partner. Another principle that I have is that you are responsible for everything in your relationship. You are responsible really for everything in your life. Because on some level you manifested that or created that in some way or were part of that process. And again, even if it's not necessarily true, but you taking ownership of it, it gives you control over that as well. You might look at your partner and blame them that they're a certain way or they're not like this or they're doing this or whatever it is. Really what you got to do is you got to look at yourself and be like, okay, what am I doing that is maybe contributing to this, or what could I change in myself? A lot of relationships are just fighting about each other. They're arguing back and forth. That was my parents. Always fighting back and forth with each other. And if they had just looked at, okay, how can I improve myself or be more loving, or maybe if this happened, I feel insecure. That's something that's not them. It's me. I gotta work on that within myself. I gotta improve or change that within myself. So I always look at myself first, because the issue is, if you just always blame your partner, then you're gonna move on to another relationship. You're gonna take you with you, and you're gonna have the same pattern, the same process again with that next person. So you really gotta look at yourself and be honest with yourself. How are you showing up? You're responsible for things. I'm responsible even if I might have said something, even though it might have been like a thing that wasn't even offensive, but my girlfriend takes offense to it, I still take ownership and responsibility for that. We never blame each other. We never accuse each other of things. We always know also that we both have a positive intent and that we never question that. I know that my girlfriend loves me no matter what. She knows I love her no matter what. Sometimes the behavior might be different because I might be tired, I might be stressed, or I might be going through a lot, but we never take that personally in any way.